Thank you, Mr. Speaker and colleagues. As Vice Chair of the California Latino Legislative Caucus and the proud son of Mexican immigrants, it's an honor to be on this floor this afternoon to recognize Cinco de Mayo, a day of celebration for millions of Mexican Americans here in California and throughout our country. Cinco de Mayo has become a day when we celebrate our culture, our grit, our determination, and our vast contributions to the American way of life. Historically, this day is celebrated to memorialize Mexico's monumental victory over the French in the town of Puebla. It was 159 years ago, on May 5th, 1862, under the leadership of General Ignacio Zaragoza, that Mexican forces, vastly outnumbered and ill-equipped when compared to the 8,000-strong French army, launched a desperate effort to defend their homeland. At that time of the Battle of Puebla, the French army was considered one of the best in the world. Against all odds, again through pure grit, the determination and love of country, the Mexican forces, they defeated the French. It was a defeat that sent shockwaves throughout the world. The victory helped to unify Mexico and sparked an era of national patriotism that continues to this day. On every Cinco de Mayo, we continue to celebrate the contributions of the brave Mexicans who fought to protect their country on that historic day in 1862. And we also celebrate the contributions in culture of the over 15 million Latinos to call California home. Latinos in California have challenged the frontiers of social, economic, and environmental justice, and have strengthened and uplifted our state in countless ways. Since the American Civil War, Latinos have served, and they continue to serve in the United States Armed Forces, to support and fight for freedom and democracy, risking their lives to defend our country. Indeed, Latinos in the state have excelled and led the way in virtually every field, from Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, advocating for the rights of farm workers, to Ellen Ochoa, the first Latina astronaut to go to space, to Carlos Santana, whose musical mastery has captivated the world for 50 years, to Antonio Neri, the president and CEO of Hewlett-Packard Enterprises, to our state's first Latino United States Senator, Alex Padilla. But it's not just these well-known names that are Latino heroes who call California home. Our greatest heroes often go unrecognized, especially this last year amid this historic pandemic. It was hardworking Latino essential workers, from farm workers and food and service workers to frontline healthcare and emergency responders, who stepped up amid this pandemic to keep our state running, to keep people fed, and to keep our communities together. With their help, we became a model. California became a model for the rest of the nation. And on this Cinco de Mayo, let us honor our essential workers, and let us celebrate the great strength of our diversity. In the spirit of recognizing ongoing Latino contributions in the state of California, the Latino Caucus is proud to present to you today our Latino Spirit Award honorees, who have been selected for their outstanding achievements and contributions to our state, to our country, and to the world. In a minute, the clerk will read their names and accomplishments, which range from the fields of medicine to literature, to advocacy, to journalism, to some journalism, to business, and to the arts. Each of this year's 9 honorees should give us all hope for the future of our state. I know that with leaders like these, we are in good hands. And with that, respectfully ask for your aye vote on House Resolution 36. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Rivas. Ms. Reyes, you are recognized at your desk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I rise today to speak on behalf of the Legislative Women's Caucus in support of H.R. 36, Cinco de Mayo week. This moment in Mexican history shows the power of the people when united against an oppressor. When the French came to invade Mexico, they had all the tools and the training, but they did not have the corazón. In honor of this event, I would like to quote a female leader, author, hero to children, and teacher of teachers from my district, Dr. Lily Rivera. Permission to read?
Without objection.
In her article about the significance of Cinco de Mayo, Dr. Rivera writes, "It is not about celebrating a victory in a battle on the 5th of May in 1862 in the city of Puebla, in the country of Mexico. It's not about honoring poor and untrained peasants who, though far outnumbered, defeated soldiers from what was then the greatest military force in the world, the French army. We celebrate the Cinco de Mayo not in recognition of a battle in another nation, but to battle for recognition in this nation. Recognition that we are equal to all others in intellect and goodness, that we represent a positive element in American society. We seek recognition so that our children's potential will be allowed to flourish, that we will be given equal opportunity in the workforce and leadership of this nation. Goals that statistics confirm we have not yet achieved. Finally, we connect to a battle in the history of our forefathers because we need appreciation for the contribution we have made to this country. Members, as we celebrate Cinco de Mayo, may we celebrate the strength of the people as well. I respectfully ask your support for this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Reyes. Mr. Ramos, you are recognized.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And today I rise on behalf of the legislative California Native American Caucus. May 5th, Cinco de Mayo commemorates the Battle of Puebla, which pitted Mexican forces of President Benito Juárez against the overwhelming forces of the French Emperor Napoleon III. As the resolution states, the Battle of Puebla is a symbol of spirit and courage in the face of adversity, in the struggle for freedom and liberty. Here in the United States, the Mexican victory at Puebla has become a day to celebrate Mexican culture and Latino contributions in all fields of endeavor. I look forward to participating in the Latino Spirit Awards and to honor the recipients who demonstrate the spirit of those at the Battle of Puebla today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Ramos. And Mr. Jones-Sawyer, you are recognized in the rear of the chamber.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the California Legislative Black Caucus, in support of H.R. 36, I want to thank my colleague for bringing forth this resolution, which recognizes May 5th as Cinco de Mayo and celebrates the resilience of the Mexican people and Latino community. Cinco de Mayo honors the courage of those who fought and valiantly defeated tyranny at the Battle of Puebla in 1862. During the Civil War, Mexican troops played a vital, pivotal role alongside the Union's defeat of the Confederate States in a battle over slavery in the U.S. From the American Civil War, both world wars, the Civil Rights Movement and the Farm Workers Movement, Latinos have fearlessly contributed to the ideals of democracy and freedom and are deeply ingrained in our American history. As we continue challenging the intolerable abuses against the Latino and migrant communities, let us always remember we are truly a nation of immigrants. Standing here on behalf of the California Legislative Black Caucus and joining my colleagues of the California Latino Legislative Caucus to celebrate a community known for resilience, let us recognize our shared struggle and work in unity toward our people's liberation. Thank you again to my colleague for bringing this important measure forward. I respectfully ask that we support ACR 56.
Thank you, Mr. Jones-Sawyer. Mr. Gabriel, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today on behalf of the California Legislative Jewish Caucus in support of H.R. 36. I want to thank our incredible colleague from Hollister for bringing forward this important measure. The story of the Battle of Puebla is one of great courage and enduring resilience, and a fitting opportunity to reflect on the courage, contributions, and incredible achievements of the Latino community here in the state of California. Every year, we honor leaders and activists in the Latino community for their contributions to public service, business, philanthropy, science, music, sports, culture, and so much more. Latinos are an integral part of our state's DNA, and California would not be the special place it is today without the remarkable contributions of our Latino community. The Jewish community is proud to help recognize our Latino brothers and sisters, and our solidarity with them is based on shared values, shared experiences, and in many cases, shared DNA. Indeed, according to recent research, 25% of Latinos have significant Jewish ancestry. This includes our very own colleague from Baldwin Park and her sister, Senator Susan Rubio, who are the descendants of Spanish conversos. It is also appropriate today to acknowledge that Latinos are an integral part of our Jewish community in California. Approximately 15% of Jews in Los Angeles County trace their roots to Latin America, and Latino Jews have made important contributions to our state and nation. These include luminaries in government like Alejandro Mayorkas, the first Latino and first immigrant to serve as Secretary of Homeland Security, who is the proud son of Jewish Cuban refugees, media personalities like Univision host Don Francisco, and entertainers like Bruno Mars. Google it. In short, our Jewish community feels a deep sense of kinship with the Latino community, and we are proud to join the Latino Caucus today in recognizing the immense contributions the Latino community has made to our state. On behalf of the Jewish Caucus, I respectfully request an aye vote on H.R. 36.
Thank you, Mr. Gabriel. Seeing no other members seeking recognition, the author, Mr. Rivas, has asked that the first roll be open for co-authors on the resolution. Clerk will open the roll. Members, this is for co-authors on the resolution. This is for co-authors on the resolution. Clerk will close the roll. There are 66 co-authors added. And without objection, we may take a voice vote on this resolution. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Members, 19 years ago, the Latino Caucus created the Latino Spirit Awards to recognize individuals who exemplify the true spirit of Latino culture and heritage. Today, we honor 9 individuals who represent a wide range of talents found in our state. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, our honorees are not present, but we want to share their names, the category of recognition, and some biographical information about them. We will now move to the recognition of the Latino Spirit Award honorees for 2021, and the clerk will read.
Honoree number 1 is Dr. Jeffrey Garcia. He is the honoree for achievement in health and science. He is a doctor of optometry practicing in Lemoore and volunteers his time and services to provide care to those in the U.S. and abroad. Honoree number 2 is Rena Grande. She is the honoree for achievement in literature and advocacy. She is the author of The Distance Between Us, her memoir about her life before and after arriving in the United States from Mexico and as an undocumented child immigrant. Honoree 3 is Maria Hinojosa. She is an honoree for achievement in journalism and media. She is a Peabody Award-winning journalist who covers issues important to the Latino community and civil and social justice issues facing a more diverse America. Honoree 4 is Jaime Herrin. He is the honoree for achievement in radio broadcasting and philanthropy. He is the Spanish-language voice of the Los Angeles Dodgers and the longest-serving broadcaster in Major League Baseball. Honoree 5 is Carlos and Linda Legretti. They are the honorees for achievement in community empowerment. They founded the Cesar Chavez Club in 2001, a civic and community service organization for youth in San Diego. Honoree 6 is Frank V. Lima. He is the honoree for achievement in public service. He is a Los Angeles firefighter and the 12th General Secretary-Treasurer of the International Association of Firefighters. Honoree 7 is Patti Rodriguez. She is the honoree for achievement in business and philanthropy. She is an entrepreneur, TV producer, and activist. Honoree 8 is Maria Casillas Salas. She is the honoree for achievement in public service. She has served the people of Chula Vista and San Diego for decades. Our last honoree is Simone Silva. He is the honoree for achievement in arts. He is an artist, speaker, and author who inspires others to overcome their obstacles, embrace their individuality, and regain their creative confidence.
Members, let's give them all a hearty round of applause. On behalf of the California State Assembly, congratulations to this year's honorees. And this concludes our observance of Cinco de Mayo week and the Latino Spirit Awards.